In a world where technology connects us more than ever, it's easy to forget what truly binds us together: our ability to understand, feel, and respond to one another. In Social Intelligence, Daniel Goleman, the renowned author of Emotional Intelligence, takes us on a profound journey into the science of human connection. He reveals that our brains are not isolated machines, but social organs designed to resonate with others. Every smile, tone, and gesture leaves a biological imprint, shaping who we are and how we feel. Goleman explores how empathy, compassion, and emotional attunement are not just moral virtues, but measurable forms of intelligence. He uncovers the hidden chemistry of connection, how hormones like oxytocin and dopamine influence trust, love, and cooperation. At the same time, he warns about the damaging effects of toxic relationships, showing how stress and emotional neglect can harm both mind and body. Through engaging stories and scientific insight, Goleman teaches us that our social interactions can literally heal us or hurt us. More than just a book about relationships, Social Intelligence is a call to rediscover our shared humanity. It reminds us that true intelligence lies not in what we know, but in how deeply we care. Whether in our families, friendships, or workplaces, every moment of understanding strengthens the invisible web that holds society together. The power of human connection. At the heart of social intelligence lies a simple yet transformative truth: human connection shapes who we are. In The Power of Human Connection, Daniel Goleman reveals that our relationships are not merely emotional or psychological experiences, they are deeply biological. Every interaction we have leaves a trace in our brain and body. A kind word, a smile, or even a warm gaze can alter our brain chemistry, lowering stress levels and releasing hormones that promote happiness and trust. Goleman shows that we are hardwired for connection. Our nervous systems synchronize with those around us, creating what he calls interpersonal resonance. When we connect meaningfully, we feel seen and valued, and our health, mood, and resilience improve. Conversely, emotional disconnection and isolation can weaken our immune system, increase anxiety, and even shorten our lifespan. Through powerful research and real-life stories, Goleman demonstrates that relationships are not optional luxuries. They are essential to our well-being. True intelligence, he argues, involves recognizing how deeply our emotions are influenced by others and how much our behavior can influence them in return. Cultivating empathy, kindness, and authentic presence isn't just morally good, it's biologically healing. Ultimately, the power of human connection reminds us that every moment of genuine contact, listening without judgment, showing care, or sharing laughter strengthens the invisible threads that hold humanity together. In a world of screens and distractions, reconnecting heart to heart may be the most intelligent act of all. The social brain. In The Social Brain, Daniel Goleman takes us inside the fascinating world of neuroscience to explain why humans are fundamentally social creatures. He reveals that our brains are wired not for isolation, but for interaction, constantly reading, mirroring, and responding to the emotions of others. This intricate network of neural circuits, often called the social brain, allows us to empathize, communicate, and form bonds. Conversely, when we encounter coldness, anger, or indifference, our brain registers it as a form of threat, triggering stress responses that can affect our physical and emotional health. The discovery of mirror neurons is central to Goleman's argument. These special cells activate both when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform it, literally allowing us to feel what others feel. This biological empathy explains why emotions are contagious, why kindness uplifts, and why hostility drains us. Ultimately, the social brain shows that understanding and nurturing our neural connections can transform our relationships and communities. By becoming more attuned, compassionate, and aware of how our words and actions affect others, we can rewire our brains for empathy and create a more connected, emotionally intelligent world. Emotional contagion. In Emotional Contagion, Daniel Goleman reveals one of the most powerful and often invisible forces that shape our daily lives: the automatic transfer of emotions from one person to another. Whether it's joy, anger, calm, or anxiety, our moods can spread like invisible waves, influencing everyone around us. This phenomenon occurs because of our brain's built-in mirror systems and social circuits, which tune into others' expressions, tones, and body language, unconsciously syncing our emotions with theirs. Goleman explains that when we encounter someone who is cheerful and confident, our body responds by releasing positive hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, lifting our own mood. Conversely, a tense or irritable person can trigger stress hormones such as cortisol, making us feel uneasy or defensive, even without realizing why. Emotional contagion, then, is both a gift and a danger. It can inspire cooperation and warmth, or spread negativity and discord. Leaders, parents, and partners often set the emotional tone of their environments. A calm, empathetic presence can stabilize an entire group, while a negative attitude can poison it. Goleman urges us to become conscious emotional transmitters, aware of how our inner state affects others. Ultimately, emotional contagion teaches that managing our emotions isn't just about self-control. It's a form of social responsibility. Every smile, sigh, or silence can lift or lower someone's spirit. The energy we radiate becomes the atmosphere we live in. Empathy, the heart of social intelligence. Empathy, according to Daniel Goleman, is the core of social intelligence, the invisible bridge that allows us to truly connect with others. In this section, Goleman defines empathy as the ability to sense, understand, and respond to the emotions of others. It is not merely feeling sorry for someone, it is feeling with them. Through neuroscience, Goleman shows how empathy arises from specialized brain circuits that mirror others' feelings. When we see someone in pain, our own neural pathways activate in similar patterns, allowing us to experience a version of their emotion. This natural resonance forms the foundation of compassion, trust, and moral behavior. Empathy has three levels: cognitive, understanding what someone feels; emotional, sharing their emotion; and compassionate, acting to help. Developing all three creates deeper, more genuine relationships. Without empathy, communication becomes mechanical, and relationships lose meaning. Goleman warns us that modern distractions, screens, stress, and speed can dull our empathic awareness. But empathy can be cultivated through mindful attention, active listening, and genuine curiosity about others' inner worlds. In the end, empathy, the heart of social intelligence, reminds us that intelligence is not just about solving problems. It's about understanding people. When we take the time to truly see and feel with another person, we strengthen the fabric of human connection and open the door to kindness, healing, and shared growth. The chemistry of connection. In The Chemistry of Connection, Daniel Goleman explores the biological foundations of human bonding, the invisible chemical messengers that link our emotions, health, and relationships. Every time we experience trust, affection, or understanding, our brains and bodies release a symphony of hormones and neurotransmitters that shape how we feel and behave toward others. At the heart of this chemistry is oxytocin, often called the love hormone. It strengthens feelings of trust, empathy, and belonging. When we share kindness, a hug, or even meaningful eye contact, oxytocin flows through our system, lowering stress and creating warmth between people. Dopamine adds a spark of pleasure and motivation to these interactions, reinforcing positive social behavior. Meanwhile, cortisol, the stress hormone, rises during conflict or fear, disrupting connection and creating distance. Goleman shows that our relationships act like emotional ecosystems. Nurturing bonds can boost immunity, balance hormones, and improve well-being, while toxic ones can literally make us sick. He emphasizes that our brains are constantly scanning social cues, adjusting our chemistry to the emotional climate around us. The key message is profound yet simple. Our biology rewards compassion and punishes hostility. When we choose empathy, gratitude, and authentic care, we don't just strengthen relationships, we heal ourselves. The chemistry of connection reveals that love, trust, and kindness are not just feelings, they are biological necessities for a healthy, connected life. Social awareness versus social facility. In Social Awareness versus Social Facility, Daniel Goleman breaks down social intelligence into two complementary abilities: understanding others and skillfully interacting with them. Social awareness is the ability to sense and interpret the emotions, needs, and perspectives of others. It involves empathy, active listening, and noticing subtle cues, tone, expression, and body language that reveal what someone truly feels. Socially aware people can read emotional currents and adapt to the moment with sensitivity. Social facility, on the other hand, is the art of using that awareness to build effective relationships. It includes skills such as clear communication, emotional self-regulation, conflict resolution, and the ability to influence or inspire others. Where social awareness is about understanding, social facility is about acting wisely on that understanding. Goleman explains that these two dimensions work together to create emotional harmony. Without awareness, our actions can be clumsy or insensitive. Without facility, empathy remains passive and unexpressed. The balance of both defines socially intelligent behavior, the kind that deepens trust, cooperation, and connection. He also points out that these skills are not innate. They can be developed through practice, mindfulness, and emotional reflection. By tuning in to others while staying emotionally grounded, we cultivate authentic, compassionate interactions. Ultimately, social awareness versus social facility teaches that true connection requires both heart and skill. To understand people is good, but to uplift, guide, and inspire them through that understanding is the highest form of social intelligence. The hidden impact of relationships on health. In The Hidden Impact of Relationships on Health, Daniel Goleman uncovers how deeply our social lives influence our physical and emotional well-being. He explains that human connection is not just psychological nourishment, it is a biological necessity. The quality of our relationships can literally shape the chemistry of our bodies, determining how we age, heal, and thrive. Positive relationships act like emotional medicine. Supportive interactions trigger the release of hormones, such as oxytocin and dopamine, which reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. A loving conversation, a warm touch, or a shared laugh can calm the heart and stabilize the nervous system. These small, everyday moments of care build long-term resilience and promote longevity. On the other hand, loneliness, rejection, and chronic conflict can be as damaging as smoking or poor diet. Emotional neglect activates the body's stress response, releasing cortisol and adrenaline that, over time, can weaken immunity, disrupt sleep, and increase the risk of heart disease or depression. Goleman emphasizes that our health is social as much as it is personal. The people around us, family, friends, co-workers, constantly influence our mood, habits, and biology. A nurturing social environment strengthens both body and mind, while a toxic one slowly erodes them. Ultimately, this section reveals a powerful truth. Healing is not only found in medicine, but in connection. Compassion, empathy, and genuine human warmth are vital forces for a long, healthy life. Toxic connections. In Toxic Connections, Daniel Goleman explores the darker side of human relationships, how negativity, hostility, and emotional manipulation can silently harm our well-being. While healthy bonds uplift us and heal us, toxic ones drain our energy, elevate stress, and damage our mental and physical health. When we are exposed to anger, criticism, or emotional coldness, our brain reacts as if facing a physical threat. The amygdala, the brain's alarm center, triggers a flood of stress hormones like cortisol, increasing heart rate and tension. Over time, constant exposure to such stress can lead to anxiety, burnout, or even illness. Goleman explains that toxic people often create emotional dissonance, a state where our inner peace is constantly disrupted by their behavior. Whether it's a manipulative boss, an abusive partner, or a negative friend, their presence can cloud judgment, lower self-esteem, and exhaust empathy. The author encourages readers to recognize and set boundaries with such individuals. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean tolerating toxicity, it means knowing when to protect one's emotional space. Developing self-awareness, assertiveness, and calm detachment allows us to stay centered without absorbing others' negativity. Yet, Goleman also reminds us that compassion has its place. Many toxic behaviors stem from pain and insecurity. When possible, responding with empathy without surrendering our peace can diffuse tension and encourage healing. Ultimately, Toxic Connections teaches that preserving emotional health is an act of self-respect. The relationships we choose either nourish our spirit or poison it, and learning the difference is a key step towards living wisely, freely, and well. The Art of Listening and Presence. In The Art of Listening and Presence, Daniel Goleman highlights one of the most profound yet underrated acts of human connection, truly listening. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and divided attention, genuine listening has become a rare gift. Goleman explains that listening is not simply hearing words, it is being fully present, emotionally, mentally, and physically with another person. When we listen with full attention, we send a powerful message: you matter. Our brain synchronizes with the speaker's emotional state, creating a flow of mutual understanding and trust. This neural attunement is what makes someone feel seen and safe. Goleman calls it empathic resonance, the invisible bridge that transforms conversations into real moments of connection. He warns, however, that modern habits like multitasking and constant digital engagement weaken this skill. When we only half listen, others sense it immediately, leading to disconnection and frustration. True presence requires silence, curiosity, and patience, the ability to suspend judgment and give another person space to express themselves. Goleman also shows that deep listening is healing. It lowers stress for both listener and speaker, reduces conflict, and enhances empathy. Leaders, partners, and friends who listen well create environments of safety and understanding. Ultimately, the art of listening and presence reminds us that connection begins with attention. By slowing down and offering our full presence, we create the conditions for compassion, trust, and authentic human bonds to flourish. Social intelligence in leadership. In Social Intelligence in Leadership, Daniel Goleman reveals that great leaders succeed not merely through strategy or intellect, but through empathy, emotional attunement, and social skill. Leadership, he argues, is a deeply emotional act. It's about influencing how people feel, not just what they do. Goleman describes leaders as emotional thermostats. Their mood sets the tone for entire teams or organizations. When leaders project calm, confidence, and respect, morale and productivity rise. When they radiate anger or indifference, motivation collapses. This is the power of emotional contagion in action. Leaders' emotions spread quickly and shape the emotional climate around them. Socially intelligent leaders excel in two key areas: empathy and relationship management. They listen deeply, sense unspoken needs, and make people feel valued. They resolve conflict gracefully, inspire cooperation, and build trust through authenticity. Instead of controlling others, they connect with them. Goleman contrasts this with emotionally blind leadership, where arrogance, neglect, or lack of empathy breed fear and resentment. Such leaders may achieve results in the short term, but destroy engagement in the long run. The secret of sustainable leadership, he concludes, lies in emotional resonance, aligning a group's energy around shared purpose and mutual respect. By mastering their own emotions and understanding others, socially intelligent leaders create environments where people thrive. Ultimately, social intelligence in leadership teaches that leadership is not about authority, it's about connection. Those who lead with heart and understanding don't just manage people, they elevate them. Building emotional resonance in social intelligence, Daniel Goleman explores the art of creating emotional harmony between people, a state he calls resonance. It occurs when two individuals or groups connect so deeply that their emotions and intentions align. This isn't about manipulation or charm. It's about authentic connection rooted in empathy, respect, and understanding. Goleman explains that emotional resonance begins with self-awareness. When we recognize and regulate our own emotions, we create space to tune in to others without judgment. Through eye contact, tone, and genuine attention, our brains begin to synchronize, a process neuroscientists call interpersonal attunement. This is the foundation of trust and collaboration. Resonant interactions generate positive emotions that ripple outward, uplifting everyone involved. Teams led by resonant leaders, for example, experience higher motivation, creativity, and unity. In families and friendships, resonance fosters deep emotional safety and belonging. Conversely, emotional dissonance, when people feel unheard or dismissed, breeds tension and disconnect. Goleman emphasizes that resonance is built through small, consistent acts: listening without interrupting, showing appreciation, expressing empathy, and staying present even during conflict. These micro moments of connection strengthen the brain's social circuits and transform relationships over time. Ultimately, building emotional resonance reveals that human connection thrives not on perfection, but on presence. When we engage with others sincerely and compassionately, we create waves of positivity that extend far beyond the moment, shaping a kinder, more connected world. Conclusion: the path to a more connected humanity. In the conclusion of Social Intelligence, Daniel Goleman delivers a powerful message. Our future as individuals and as a species depends on how well we connect with one another. Intelligence alone is not enough. What sustains humanity is our capacity for empathy, compassion, and cooperation. Goleman argues that every interaction we have is an opportunity to shape the emotional climate of the world. A single act of kindness or genuine listening can spark biological changes that reduce stress, build trust, and inspire others to do the same. In this way, compassion becomes contagious, just like anger or fear, but with far more healing power. He also warns that disconnection, fueled by technology, isolation, and emotional indifference, threatens the very fabric of society. To thrive, we must reclaim our natural social intelligence, the ability to be fully present, to sense others' emotions, and to act with care. The path forward Goleman suggests is both personal and collective. It begins with awareness, choosing empathy over ego, presence over distraction, and understanding over judgment. Each relationship we nurture becomes a small act of healing, not just for us, but for humanity as a whole. As we reach the end of Social Intelligence, Daniel Goleman leaves us with a message that lingers in both the mind and the heart, that the true measure of our intelligence lies not in logic or knowledge, but in our capacity to connect. Every look, every word, every act of empathy creates invisible threads that bind us together as human beings. We are not isolated minds. We are emotional ecosystems, constantly shaping and being shaped by those around us. Through stories, science, and wisdom, Goleman shows how every relationship, whether fleeting or lifelong, affects our biology, our emotions, and even our destiny. A smile can calm anxiety. A harsh word can wound deeply. A moment of genuine listening can change a life. The more we understand others, the more whole we become ourselves. Listening to this book reminds us that kindness and presence are not luxuries. They are vital forms of intelligence that heal us and the world. When we nurture empathy, we don't just become better individuals. We become better humans, capable of compassion, cooperation, and deep understanding. So as you close this chapter, take with you this truth. Real wisdom lives in connection. The way we treat others shapes the very quality of our lives. Choose empathy, choose awareness, and watch how your world transforms. If this message touched you, subscribe to WiserReads. Join a community that listens deeply, learns meaningfully, and grows together, one book, one story, and one heart at a time. Because wisdom isn't just about thinking smarter, it's about feeling deeper.